Chapter 13 of Married Thrice to Salted Fish. Young Master Hao and Lin Shaojun have certainly given me a good show. His voice came first before he could be seen. The one who came had long eyebrows reaching his temples. His eyes were long and narrow. His thin lips appeared coquettish. He was obviously of a handsome and dashing appearance. But when coupled with the look on his face that seemed to say, "I know I'm handsome," it immediately became something hard to describe. Lin Qingyu had only glanced at him, and he already had the urge to throw him into ice water to get rid of the grease. Lin Qingyu bowed in salute. "Greetings to His Royal Highness. Since we are outside the palace, there is no need for Lin Shaojun to be so polite to me." When he spoke, Shao Cheng never took his eyes off Lin Qingyu's face. "Raise your head and look at me." Ugh, get rid of this dude soon. Lin Qingyu concealed the coldness in his eyes and raised to meet Shao Cheng's gaze. Shao Cheng stared deeply into his eyes, a trace of reminiscence and nostalgia in his eyes. He murmured, "It's been a long time since I have seen these eyes." Lin Qingyu said, "Your Highness is speaking of Princess Jingchun's eyes?" Shao Cheng startled as though waking from a dream. The emotions in his eyes receded like a tide, and he said coldly, "Did Lu Wancheng tell you? How did he?" It seems that young Master Hao was right. His Highness is indeed unable to forget about his old feelings for Princess Jingchun. The reason why he admires me is also because I somewhat resemble Jingchun. Shao Cheng narrowed his eyes and said, ridicule evident in his tone, "I didn't expect that a long bedridden sickly seedling like Lu Wancheng would know so much about it. Unfortunately, when all is said and done, he is dying, and even a mere kiss can make him faint." Shao Cheng licked the corner of his lips. It's truly a waste for such a stunner as Lin Shaojun to be following him. Oh, this guy! Ugh. A stunner, meaning a beauty. It could be regarded as a kind of a compliment. But when it came from Shao Cheng's mouth, it only made him want to cut his tongue out and serve it with a wine. No, just burn it. He deserves it, Qingyu. A stunner, Lin Qingyu laughed. "If I didn't have these eyes and this tear-shaped mole, would your Highness still think I'm a stunner?" Why should Lin Shaojun belittle himself so? Lin Shaojun's appearance is exceptional in the entire world. Even without Jingchun, you have beauty enough to make people fall in love at first sight. Oh my gosh, this dude. Shao Cheng approached Lin Qingyu. He was tall and could completely shroud Lin Qingyu under his own figure. "Little Qingyu, why didn't you drink the wine I gave you last time? Lin Qingyu tried his best to hide his surging malice. "Dude, if I was there, I would just punch him." Like the patience, like the control Lin Qingyu has is so much better than me, because I would have totally punched him, took his, probably, have taken his face and slam it to the ground like a freaking coconut till his head splits open, and just throw him in the ice cold freaking water. Okay. He took a half step back and said, "I am already married. Surely it must be inappropriate for His Highness to be seducing me like this." "Seduce?" Shao Cheng approached Lin Qingyu, his voice hoarse. "Then, did I get you excited?" I don't want to read chapters where this freaking trash is. He's so, disgusting. I only want the time with my Lu Wancheng and Lin Qingyu. Everybody else can get away. More like it made my desire to poison and kill you so much stronger. See, the monologue of lynching you totally matches mine. Can this dog think? Can this dog thing get out of my sight? Shao Cheng smelled the faint scent on Lin Chingyu's body. He pressed the tip of his tongue to inside of his cheek and said, "You smell so good." Oh gosh, God, just give me the power to isekai myself. I cannot with this freaking disgusting ass of a person to be there. Lin Chinyu didn't want to stay for a moment longer. The marriage between me and young Master Hao was brokered by the Empress and bestowed by the Emperor himself. Your Highness is so disrespectful. Do you mean to hit the Emperor and the Empress's faces? Shao Cheng looked at him and his lips hooked up in a smile. He said, "It doesn't matter. Lu Wancheng won't live for long. I can be patient." Oh, the audacity of this bitch. "Then I shall now leave to take care of my husband," Lin Qingyu said indifferently. "I shall not be accompanying you any longer." "Little Qingyu," Shao Cheng stopped him. One side of his lips raised up. With that half smile, he said, "There will come a day when I will have you lie willingly under me. I will be waiting for you." Okay, where is the sword? I have my sword somewhere lying. It's for a cosplay, but I know, I can still sharpen it. This fucker is asking for his death. He just wants, a quick express pass to his death. The audacity, the shamelessness, the disgust, the threatening. Huh? You would make him lie under you willingly? He would never. And you know what? You'd be lying in deathbed soon. Oh my gosh. I'm so angry. I'm trying to keep my voice as calm as possible, but if I see his face, I'm gonna punch him so freaking hard, even if it breaks my fingers. I don't care. I'm gonna punch him so freaking hard. Lin Qingyu turned around and walked through the corridor. He saw a plain white skirt disappearing around the corner. He looked back at the smug Shao Cheng. He whispered to himself, "Don't wait for me, wait for death." Yes! A monk of the Chanseng temple, who was good at the traditional medicinal arts, gave an acupuncture treatment to Lu Wancheng, who had fainted. When Lin Qingyu found Lu Wancheng in one of the side rooms, he had already woken up and was taking sips of soothing decoction. Huan Dong stood to one side, looking after Lu Wancheng. When he saw Lin Qingyu walking in, he said, "Young master is here." Lu Wancheng froze in the middle of drinking the medicine. He then smiled and said, "Qingyu." It was as if nothing had happened. As long as he wasn't embarrassed, it would be others who would be embarrassed. Lu Wancheng, what is this logic? You just have to you're just getting past the embarrassment so that the other feels embarrassed. What if Lin Qingyu doesn't feel embarrassed too? You will end up feeling embarrassed at the end. Oh gosh, this sly kid. Lin Qingyu said slowly, "You just... fuck. It was still embarrassing." See? I told you. Lu Wancheng shouldn't play these games of I should just stay a little bit strong till the other person collapses or feels more embarrassed. You have no idea the patience Lin Qingyu has. Lu Wancheng covered his face with his hands, unable to defend himself. "It's not that I'm frustrated, it's that this body is too weak." He could admit that seeing the other up close just now had sent his heart racing a bit, and it got to his head. But it wasn't to the point that he'd pass out. Lu Wancheng was indignant and depressed. If it were me, before I would run 800 meters while carrying you, and I wouldn't even be out of breath. Lin Qingyu quietly watched him bragging. Lu Wanjing seemed hurt by his expression, so he lowered his head and said dejectedly, "It's true, Qingyu. You have got to believe me." In consideration for the patient's mood, Lin Qingyu dutifully said, "I believe you." Lu Wanjing was doubtful. "Really?" Mm. Lu Wanjing smiled. The young man's the young man's smile was clear and relaxed, like the sky after the summer rainstorm. It saved Lin Qingyu's eyes from being covered in grease. After regaining his self-esteem, Lu Wancheng turned back to proper business. "By the way, did you see Shao Chang?" "I saw him," Lin Qingyu sneered. "He called me little Qingyu." Lu Wancheng, "Save me." Once Lu Wancheng had rested, Lin Qingyu asked Huan Tong to pack up and prepare to return to the Hao mansion. The three came to the front hall, and Huan Tong saw the monk who had just given Lu Wancheng the acupuncture treatment. He said, "Young master, that was the master who gave young master Hao acupuncture to wake him up." The master met their gazes and nodded. Lin Qingyu thought that as Lu Wancheng's nominal wife, it was necessary to thank the master in person. So he asked Huan Tong and Lu Wancheng to wait for a while. Lin Qingyu had heard earlier that the Buddhist doctors had their own set of medical methods comparable to those of ordinary doctors. After thanking him, the master took the initiative to ask about Lu Wancheng's body, and Lin Qingyu told him a bit about it. Huan Tong grew bored of waiting. Watching the pilgrims burn incense and kneel to pray for blessings, he said, "Young Master Hao, why don't we also go burn some incense sticks for the Buddha?" Lu Wancheng said indifferently, "All right." So Huan Tong asked the monk for 6 incense sticks. After lighting them, he gave half to Lu Wancheng. He copied the pilgrims and knelt on the cushion, holding the incense with both hands. He mumbled out some words, and after that, he kowtowed 3 times to the Buddha statue. He then inserted the incense into the incense burner. After doing this, Huan Tong patted his clothes and stood up. Seeing the young master Hao holding the incense sticks carelessly, looking in the direction of the young master and the monk, he knelt once again. It isn't convenient for the young master Hao to do this, so I will do it for him and pay respects to the Buddha on his behalf. After kowtowing, Huan Tong said, "Young master Hao, you can express your wish to the Buddha." Lu Wancheng looked back. "Wish?" "Yes, as long as the Buddha hears it, he will definitely help us achieve our wish." Lu Wancheng, sitting in his wheelchair, looked at the golden Buddha statue above the hall, a solemn treasure looking down at all beings. Lu Wancheng thought about it for a while and said with a low smile, "Then I hope he will always be happy." Oh, see, Lu Wancheng's wish is to make sure Lin Qingyu is happy. It wasn't even a freaking wish for himself. Oh my gosh, this kid. There is a reason why I call him a kid, okay? He's 17, probably 18, but still younger than me by a couple of years. But I have this sense of like calling him a kid. Like I usually do that with characters. Okay, that was totally unnecessary. At the entrance of the Nanan Hao mansion, Just as Lin Qingyu's carriage arrived, Liang Shi and Lu Niantao's carriage arrived as well. When Liang Shi got out of the carriage, she saw Lin Qingyu. She instinctively wanted to hide but was pulled by Lu Niantao to a stop. Mother is the mistress. He is a Shaojun. Courtesy must still be adhered to. Liang Shi clenched her fingers tightly and put a smile on her face. Wan Chang, Qingyu, where did you go? Why didn't you tell your mother? Lu Wancheng's face was sinking like water, and he said angrily, I would rather have not gone out. Lin Qingyu pursed his lips and reached out to push the wheelchair. He then heard Lu Wancheng say, Huantong, push me back. Huantong said, Oh, completely confused. He looked at Lu Wancheng, then at Lin Qingyu. He then pushed Lu Wancheng away. Lin Qingyu was quiet for a while before following after them. The other servants also looked at each other in dismay. Everyone in the whole mansion knew that the eldest young master had the best temperament of everyone there. This was the first time they have seen the eldest young master treat the Shaojun so coldly. Liang Shi didn't understand. Haven't they always had a good relationship? What's wrong? It's because they have a good relationship that he's like this, Lu Niantao explained. No matter how of no use elder brother is, he is still a man. How could he bear having his wife coveted by others, even if that person is? Lu Niantao was both gloating and suffering from subtle jealousy. What was the use of such a face of a man? If she could also have that face, what need would be there for her to scheme so much? Girl, let me tell you, being pretty is not always a pro. You attract unnecessary flies more than you want, and it just, you will be put on a pedestal of being a nice person. So you will either become this person, you're good looking. If you're nice to everybody, you should be nice to everybody, and you have to be this Mary Jane of a character. And if you say something wrong, or if you stand strong against something, they will just think you're a bitch. It's so easy. Don't ask for, just good looks. Ask for brains too, okay? This scheming, it can, it, you know, lynching you is not the person you should be scheming against. Pick a right opponent. And Lu Wancheng and lynching you aren't those, okay? Gosh. That night, Lu Wancheng and Lin Qingyu had a big quarrel, throwing the Blue Wind Pavilion into chaos. The servants from other courtyards passing by the gate of the Blue Wind Pavilion could hear the sound of things being thrown to the ground. Lu Wancheng pointed at Lin Qingyu, gritted his teeth, and said, Let me ask you, did you make an appointment with him for a private meeting at Changsheng Temple today? Lin Qingyu reasoned with him. If I'd made an appointment with him in advance, why would I have taken you there? Do you think I have gone stupid from sickness? Yes. You have never used perfume before. Why did you wear that sachet when you went to Changsheng Temple today? I wore it casually. I didn't expect him to like it. Lu Wancheng said deliberately, ambiguous. Oh, you must want to see me die sooner so you can choose someone higher up? Lin Qingyu said calmly. If you want to think so, then I can't help it. Lu Wancheng choked. You. Lin Qingyu waited for Lu Wancheng to say something back. He lowered his voice. You can't say that. Why? If you say that, I can't come up with a comeback. Then stop arguing. Lin Qingyu said, and with a wave of his arm, all the things on the table were swept to the ground. Lu Wancheng smiled. He picked up a vase on the shelf and was about to throw it to the ground when he heard Lin Qingyu say, "That's a relic from the previous dynasty." Lu Wancheng immediately put the vase back. "Then that's your inheritance." After one night, I mean, if you guys haven't realized it, they were putting on a show in front of all the people to, think that they are in a fight. But they are ever so going steady, okay? They are just cooking up a plan. After one night, the house was a mess. Hualu and a few of the maids spent a long time cleaning up. They then took out the rubbish that was cleaned up and discarded them. Among them was a sachet that caught Shao Cheng's attention. It was before the early winter and the chrysanthemums were in bloom. The Blue Wind Pavilion was already using the charcoal braziers, and they had hung up the door curtains to keep out the wind. Lin Qingyu was in the study reading the letter sent by Shang Shiquan from Shu Chao, his eyes gradually turning cold. In the end, he wrote back a letter. Only 3 words were written in it. "Continue to investigate." "Young master." Huan Tong rushed in. Young Master Hao is asking you to return to the bedroom. He said he wanted to show you something good." Lin Qingyu asked suspiciously. "What's something good?" Huan Tong smiled happily. "You will know when you go and have a look." Lin Qingyu walked into the bedroom. He saw that Lao Han he slept on was gone. The screen and Lu Wancheng's bed were also gone, replaced by 2 beds on top of each other. It was the bunk beds that Lu Wancheng had mentioned. Lu Wancheng was talking to the carpenter. "Add a fence to the upper bunk to prevent the Shao Jun from turning over in the middle of the night and falling off." The carpenter said, "Young Master Hao is very considerate. I will add it here." Lin Qingyu, ... In the end, he couldn't escape this disaster. "Qingyu's here." Lu Wancheng deliberately stepped aside to give Lin Qingyu an unobstructed view of his and the carpenter's masterpiece. "How is it? Look at the staircase. I specially had the carpenter make it wide to make it easier for you to get in and out of the bed." Lin Qingyu opened his mouth to speak. Seeing Lu Wancheng's heavy coat and his sleeves that were now so much larger than his wrists, he compromised. "As long as you like it." The bed that Lu Wancheng asked the carpenter to make was cumbersome to get up to and down from, but it was still comfortable to sleep in. Not long after Lin Qingyu fell asleep, he heard someone calling his name in his ear while he was half asleep. Lin Qingyu opened his eyes. It was still dark outside. Lu Wancheng stood by the bed, holding on to the added fence with both hands. He looked at him with a smile. The sleepiness had yet to subside. Lin Qingyu's voice was a little warmer and softer than usual. "What time is it?" Lu Wancheng said. "It's just past Jishe." Lin Qingyu thought that Lu Wancheng woke him up in the middle of the night because he felt unwell, but seeing him standing up on his own and speaking so steadily, this possibility could be ruled out. Lin Qingyu was under a rare bout of laziness and didn't sit up. He turned over and lay on his side to meet Lu Wancheng's eyes. "What are you doing waking up at this hour?" In the dark night, Lu Wancheng's eyes shone like stars. "Qingyu, I'm 18 today." Oh, that's his OG birthday. This scene was like really intimate for me. Like when I first read it, it was so nice. I was like, that subtle intimacy, like it doesn't have to be anything, too much. like sexual, or like they don't even have to touch, but you could feel it. Like you could feel their emotions, you could feel that bond. Ah, and I love it, every bit of it. Anyway, happy birthday to Luan Chang. If only we knew his OG name, we would have wished him happy birthday. But for now, happy birthday, RMO, the salted fish.